Sorry that it's taking some time here, but we're definitely moving it along. I'm just taking a minute here to get this all figured out. So just a second while I get to the live part of my website here, or video. So your videos, Creator Studio. I'm just getting things set up here and just making sure. The thing is like the app I use doesn't show anything. Sure. The thing is like, so yeah, here we go. So now I muted it, but I can see now the live chat. So we're ready to go. All right, so we're gonna manually move over to the, oh, hello 404. We're gonna go ahead and start downloading the app manually here. And that's gonna take about 21 minutes. So, or 10 minutes here. And so what I'm going to do is get everything ready and going on my on the Pico 4 to show how to update. And we're going to, I think we're going to update the region switcher 2. And then I think I'll include videos into that how about or how to. Yeah, how-to video, like how-to videos into the region switcher. I'm not sure if I'm have the energy for that tonight, but at least we can have the energy to do the update the old school way with the Pico 4. But not worried about RAM or memory on my computer. That's not a big deal. I usually have more tabs than this open. I have 16 or 30, I think I have 32 gigs of RAM. So let's, yeah, let me see here how much RAM I have. Where would you find RAM? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm too tired. But I have a lot of RAM. I mean, I have more than enough. System. Do I just go over here? Systems. Yeah, 32 gigs of RAM. So it's not like I'm needing any. So anyway, I don't need RAM. I'm just waiting for that to download. And then, yeah, we can work on that. Maybe even work on that app or whatever. But yeah, so like I said in the video that I just uploaded, there is a new one with fixes that have been repeated over and over again. They just keep doing that. I don't know how good it is. I saw little clips of here and there while I was at work on quality. So who knows? I'm not too sure. I'm gonna check to see where it's at here. How was your day, 404? Oh, hi, Kimmy. Welcome to the channel. How's your day going? How is your day? I'm getting this downloaded so we can do a manual upload so that we're not having to do that. I'm going to check my Pico to see if I'm powered up enough or have enough energy to do an update. Hopefully I do. I haven't been using my headset because I've been busy with work, so should be fully charged. I am at 56%. I believe that's enough to do an update. So that's good. It may say that I have an update available. Let's get that started while we're waiting for this for a screencast. So let's do that real quick. Since I'm already charged up enough as it is. Let's get a screencast going. I don't know why they took away this environment that I have. They should have kept it for everybody to be able to use. I don't know what's happened with that, but for some reason they're mean bastards. So let's see. I'm gonna go with that one. Oops, no. Sorry, I fat fingered it. Click that. What the fuck? Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you guys. Oh, the hell. I'll show you how to update it manually. This is how you do it. So I'm trying to get in there, but I can't even type today because I'm so tired from work. There we go. Let's do that. That'll work. Hi, brother. That's my brother there. Enoch is my brother. He's awesome. He is the man. 19 is the site that we need. Scooby-Doo, brother. Was it 16 or 17? Did I say 16? I think it was 16. Or 19. I can't even. It's been a long day at work. Tell you what. It's been long. Okay, here we go. Screencast. F11. Okay, so first thing you need to do if you're trying to get it from there is you need to check the version that you're on. Make sure that you're not going to the next version. It says I have an update, but I'm not going to update this way. I want to update the other way because the website shows differently. You have to go to this like thing here and click that and then do an offline update. Okay. But also if the it should be in English for you, but if you ever see it in another language, you can just do this. Just know that if you see if it's in like Chinese, okay, if you ever in Chinese, you can go in to, no, I do not want to do that. Okay, so if you go into Chinese, you can go in here, go into there, go to settings, go to here, then you can click here, and then click the bar, and then offline update. That's if you want to use the other language, Chinese or whatever, or go back to English. So but yeah, it wants me to do it this other way, but I'm not going to do it that way. So we're kind of waiting for that. So we'll let it sit down for a minute, and we'll see where we are on the download. Okay, so let's F11, and we have 3 minutes left, so we're kind of waiting for that. And then I'm going to end the cast because we'll get it right there when we're ready for it. Okay, so what we also need to do is we need to get the folder ready. And then we need another folder just to kind of make it easy. And then you go to your downloads. There's your download. And then we need to get the Pico 3 or the Pico 4 set up. So you just grab the Pico 4. You plug it into your computer. Okay. Now the Pico 4 is connected. Okay. And then you just go into your Pico 4. And then you see deload, right? You delete this deload folder. Make sure there's no deload folder in here. Okay. Then what you need to do, because you see how I had that update that said I had an update, it was already downloading into that deload folder. So we need to make sure that you don't have the deload folder there. There's hidden folders and stuff in there. So if you ever have a deload folder, you need to delete it and add it back in. Okay. So then we go deload. Now you have a deload folder. Okay. So now all we got to do is just wait for that download from China, right? So let's see where we're at. We have a whole minute. So what you do is you cancel it right at the last second. Just kidding. But just kind of wait for it. And then once that's done downloading, you just move it over and you do the offline update. And then after you update and you're in Chinese, if you have a Chinese headset, you need to factory reset your headset. And the reason that you factory reset it is it allows you to pick the region that a global region, because before the reset, you're in China. So your mirrors and all your servers and all your stuff's going to China. And if you go and you move to like a global firmware, your mirrors and all your servers are still going in China. So if you factory reset, it gets rid of all like the events applications. It gets rid of all the Chinese apps, and it also allows you at setup to set up a region, like for a global region. Okay, and after you have that, then you get the Android application for your phone, and then you install that so that you can add a credit card so you can buy applications on your headset. And that's what you do. So now we have that. So what you do is you just go ahead and you move this without extracting it to the deloads folder that you created, and you make sure that it's all there. Okay, and then what we'll do now is once it's all transferred, I'm going to remove the short cable I'm using. Okay. And then what we do now is we pull up the browser so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do another screencast. And then we're going to F11 this. And then we're going to then go in to the boundary, because every time you take your headset off. Okay, allow. Okay, so now you're here. Okay, so say you're in your headset, you're at 50% or whatever. You go to settings. You go to general, you go to system version, click the gear, click offline update, update. The device will then reboot, okay? And then once it's rebooting, it'll show an Android. And you want to keep your headset on your head this whole time, because what happens is it will show an Android device, an Android logo, okay? And what will happen is the Android logo, if the Android is a dead Android, you know that the update didn't happen. So you always want to wait and make sure that the update happens. If the bar goes almost a third of the way, you know that it's successful. It fails usually the first quarter of the update, okay? So if it fails the first quarter of the update, you know it's not. But if it goes to 3/4, then you know that the update was successful on your headset. So you just let it update, and it's good to go. Do you have any questions, Kimmy, on that? It usually takes a few minutes to update, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, so the Pico site hasn't really done too much like updates. We're still stuck on an old version of Streaming Assistant for some reason. I'm going to double check the Streaming Assistant when it logs back in to see if there's any new Streaming Assistants here within the application, because there might be a new Streaming Assistant that they haven't released yet. So I'm going to check the firmware for that. Also going to check the browser version as well, and to see if there's a new browser version. But as far as I can see for Streaming Assistant, let me go to the Pico site that's actually useful. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to go over to Streaming Assistant, and then let's see. Yeah, some of the stuff's way old. Like, they haven't updated forever. So sometimes they'll update like the app before they update the process. Cool. So it's pretty straightforward if you're switching from China. It's harder if you're switching from global to China, because when you factory reset the firmware from China to go from global to China, you can't just factory reset to change the region, because it doesn't have the ability to change regions in the Chinese firmware. So if you want Chinese servers again, you have to like use an app to get that. And I usually include those apps. And I'm going to look into a cache cleaner app, so that after, that's a 404's idea. So then after like we're done doing that, then you're able to like, do a region switch instead for those people that have like a enterprise, or the people that have the Pico 3 Pico 3i edition. If they have the Pico 3i edition, they're kind of stuck, and that's kind of shitty. Okay, I'm going to see if my Pico 3 is ready, and then we're going to test some other things here real quick. I'm surprised my brother was on. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he usually doesn't pop into my live streams. I usually don't do them very often anyway, but it's pretty cool. And if you have any like questions for me, like even if it isn't Pico related, I'm happy to answer them or whatever. I don't mind. I did have a crazy week though, but I'm just kind of waiting for the headset to kind of boot up. I haven't done a manual install on my Pico 4 for quite a while. I usually do manual updates on my Pico 3. So this is like the first time I've probably shown a Pico 4 update. Usually when I do the updates, I'm showing you with my Pico 3. So that's kind of an interesting like way of doing things, I guess. I just wanted to do it differently because I've been doing OTAs. So if you do a sideload thing and you sideload a update, wait a minute, am I in Chinese firmware? Did they just give me Chinese firmware? Am I on global? Uh-oh. Oh, everything's in... Okay. I am confused as fuck. I am very confused. I'm going to streamcast you guys and show you guys. Okay, I am confused, and I'm totally confused, and I'm scared. Okay. This is crazy, and I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, so it doesn't matter if I have a global or Chinese firmware, but I'm glad I checked this before you guys start flashing it. But events is a Chinese thing, okay? Also, this is a Chinese thing. This is a Chinese thing, okay? Is my store gonna work? I don't know. Let me double check. Okay, that seems fine. That seems fine. I'm super scared. Will it update? Will it update? Am I okay? I am like okay. This is scary because like is this a Chinese like okay, so this might be safe for people with the Pico Pro. Like so if they have a Pico Pro, they can go and flash this version. If this is like a knockoff global version, you guys are good to go with this if you have an enterprise version because the store is going to work fine. But I am super scared like that things might stop working. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. It may or may not be a Chinese firmware. It looks like everything's fine. And it looks like virtual desktop's working fine. Because it failed to load, dude. This is fine. It would say issue or something like that. But why is events here? This is a Chinese thing, this is for seriousness. Okay, so another thing to check too is we can check the browser and see if it's a Chinese browser or not. Okay, it looks fine. Looks fine. I'm connected to them, so I can talk to friends still. So it should be fine. So it's looking like And I'll continue to do tests to make sure, like over the next few days. But I was freaking scared for you guys. Like I didn't want you guys to have to like, do any of that. So I'm gonna end my cast here. But that was freaking scary. Then I'm updating my Pico 4 right now. I want to see how much hand tracking improves with this update. Yeah, it could be. It also could be that this update is now perfect for those people that have that it's a direct rip from China. So it might work with these people that have a global, I'm going to go and tell people that this So I don't know. What do you guys think about this? With how much Chinese apps are in it, do you guys think that it's actually worth it? Do you think it would work for the enterprise people? What do you think? Ponder that while you guys think about that, and I want to see a response. I'm going to go up, get me a soda, but just think about that. How, since it's Chinese firmware, do you guys think that this would work with the latest Pico Pro 4 without having to do the region switch? And I'll be right back. Hello. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so what did you guys come up with? Do you guys think that the updated version of the 5.82 would work with the enterprise versions without like region switch, just going global? Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to work that way. If someone wants to test it, they should, because it's basically Chinese firmware. If there's events and if it's a phone thing, we're basically it. So it should be great. It should work fine. And it will trick the headset to think that it's a global, a Chinese headset with the global store. So it should work fine. And it won't, I don't think it will trick the headset for not like selecting the Pico Enterprise store or the business store. It'll actually probably be fine with the global store. So, have somebody report back? Cool. I think that's actually a godsend. That update is a godsend because remember the original 5.70 was just like this, and it worked fine. So that's pretty badass, actually. Very badass, because 5.70 was the same way. Yeah. My live stream shows it's actually Chinese firmware with a global store. Pretty badass. That's a pretty cool find. I'm glad I sideloaded it instead of updated it. Like, I'm glad I didn't do an OTA. I'm glad I just did the straight up update. Yeah, don't. Yeah, don't just update it. Just sideload it and then update, because, or don't, sideload it and update it, because if you do an OTA, it may cause an issue. So if you're on global and then you update it like it was trying to get me to do, I did it the other way around. So if we do it manually, I think that is the way to make it work. This is a great find, actually, and this is a pretty cool thing. I'm pretty pumped about that. That actually saves me a lot of work for the region switcher and a lot of support this go around. That's a lot less stress that I have to deal with this coming weeks. Things are going really good at work. Just been super busy. Haven't had time to really look at everything. People are just popping in, popping out, getting the firmware. We've noticed on the Discord, which is fine. You guys don't have to stay on. It's fine. I'm not upset about that. It's just one of those things. It's like, whatever you guys want to do, it's cool. I'm surprised that I even have 932 subscribers. That's pretty badass too. Thank you. Still a relatively small channel. Yeah, but I'm not really fully focused on it. I can't be. I'm so focused on work and trying to be successful there that it's hard to continue building it, But even with the live stream with no announcements, having 7 people watching right now, that's pretty cool, actually. That's way cool. Very awesome. But yeah, so pretty cool. Nothing else is really like popping. So like I still have this, and I'm expecting this to sometime change, because this is the pro version of the Pico 3. But yeah, so pretty sick. And then the beta, I don't know why they just released the beta the other day, so I don't know why they just came up with this one. It's like they just came up with an update and then they just came up with another one, which is weird. I guess there was a major issue with one of their firmwares. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Thanks for reminding me, 404. I got to check the version of the streaming assistant. I'll be right back. I'm going to check it right now. I don't need to do like a stream of the headset. Thanks for reminding me, man. You're awesome. Thank you. Okay, so let's see here. I just got freaked out by the damn thing that they changed. Streaming assistant. 956. It's still the same streaming assistant that we always had. So. Settings. Checking for updates. It's the latest one. It's crazy. I'm gonna reboot my headset real quick and see if the store still works, because that's a good indication of having things work. Yeah. Is there anything else I should cover today besides just double checking after a reboot of the Pico 4? Should I check to see if virtual desktop still works? Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll check that. Streamer. I don't really use this software, especially on this computer. This computer doesn't really do very well. Or this computer doesn't do very well with it. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up Virtual Desktop. It's establishing the connection. And it's working. Like, I have it working. I can launch probably, let me turn on this control. I can launch games. Half-Life Alyx. And it should load the Half-Life Alyx for me. On an A770 Intel GPU, it should work fine. Yeah, so of course it's just working perfect with this thing. But as soon as you try big screen, it fails. Yeah, it fails. And it fails miserably. Yeah. Yeah, fails miserably. Okay. It's an A770. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. Yep, it's the A770 GPU Intel. So, yeah, some games still work, but most games don't. They need to update that one day, maybe. It doesn't even work with Streaming Assistant. But it does work with ALVR, and it does work with Virtual Desktop with only a couple games. Like, it'll work with Reborn VR, and then it'll work with I haven't checked Ivory. I haven't checked that, but I've checked with I checked with Half-Life Alyx, and then I checked with and I have a few other VR games I could try. Maybe I should try those other ones. I have a shit ton of them. I should try with the Intel GPU. It just sucks because, like, I really just do big screen. That's just usually my go-to. But what's cool though is this actually works with that Chinese firmware. Because it would have bitched and complained if I opened it up and it was the wrong, firmware reason. I was scared, for a minute. So, yeah. Roblox, I haven't even played that game. I don't even know. I heard if you say certain words that they ban you. I don't know, but there's a few people that have an Intel Pro, a Pico Pro Enterprise, so, or a Pro, Pico 4 Pro or an Enterprise. There's a few people, so, yeah. Yeah, so I'm glad I did a stream of this. I'm glad I did this one. That was actually pretty cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and get it. I'm probably gonna get off now, and I'll probably do an updated region switcher tomorrow when I have more energy. I'm really tired. I'm exhausted. from work. So I'll just do that tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a live stream tomorrow of me building it earlier in the day, and people can just watch it because most of the people that watch this stuff, they watch it in another country, and the other country's time frame. You can make a new version if you want, but I have both. I have the Pico 4. I have the Pico 3 version of it, and then the latest Pico 3 version, which is the latest store apps, and then I have the Pico 4. I have it all here, and I usually I'd rather pull it out of the headsets than I would out of the thing. So I'll probably just update it, add all my links, and no, the stores are the same. It's better to pull this stuff out. I've been using the Chinese app store from the Pico 3 this whole time, and then I've been using what I get out of the Pico 4 the whole time. I don't use the app puller thing because sometimes those apps are outdated, but the apps that are on the actual headset are more up to date. Usually that's what happens. So I don't like to use the app that pulls it out of the thing, because a lot of times those aren't the right apps. They're usually older. So I use the ones out of there. Hey, Spy, how are you doing? Oh, hey. Archie, welcome. Yeah, if you haven't... Do you have what Pico do you have? I can't remember. You have the Pico 4. Do you have the Pico 4 or do you have a Pico 3? Oh, okay. Do you have the Pro Enterprise? Or just a regular Pico 4? Okay, yeah, because the only reason I'm asking is this latest update is pulled from the Chinese firmware. So it's a bad port of the Chinese firmware. So it has the global store, and then it has all the Chinese apps in it. So it's a bad port, pretty much. But that's a good thing for those people with the Enterprise. Because then the people with the Enterprise or the people with the Pico Pro, they can then flash this firmware, and yeah, they can flash the firmware and their shit will work with the store. So that's my theory, because it happened with the original 5.70 firmware. The first version, not the ones that kept updating to, but the original first version. That's how that one worked. So hopefully, and then 5.82, everything works still. It was scary. I was scared. No, it's fine. It's just a bad port of the Chinese one, meaning that they took the Chinese firmware and they just put the global store in it, which is good for the people with the Pico Pro and the Pico Enterprise, because it'll trick the headset to think it's a Chinese firmware, but it has the global store in it. So those people that have the Pico 4 Enterprise and the Pico 4 Pro, if they flash this without doing an OTA, they'll be able to get the store working without having to go through a region switcher or having those issues. It'll just trick the headset into thinking it's a normal Chinese firmware, which is good. That's what happened on the 5.7 update. So, and then if those people stay on that firmware, they don't have to worry about it breaking for a while, and it's a good store for a while. And then if they just stay on that firmware and they want a newer store, they could just do a region switch to get a newer store version as it goes up. That's what I would do if I had a Pico Pro, is just stay on this version. Yeah, it's 5.70 was a Chinese firmware with global store. So if we just stay on this firmware, if you're on a Enterprise or a Pro, it's fine. You're all solid because it's reading as a, yeah. And what makes it hard though too is now the people with the Pico 4, if I can't tell what firmware they have, because if I ask them, hey, what are you on? Are you on Chinese firmware or on global firmware? And if they say, oh, well, I'm on global, and I'm like, okay, go check here. And it shows the phone notification. I can't tell if it's actually global or if it's Chinese firmware. So it's kind of a bad for support for people that use region switcher, but it's good for those people that the Pico Pro, the Pico Enterprise. If that makes any sense at all. But I'm gonna build the region switcher tomorrow. I'm so tired. And then I'm gonna grab my old videos because I don't want to make a new region switcher video, because the reason for that is I don't want Pico to see it. Because if I keep making new videos and saying I'm supporting it, what they'll do is they'll just do as much as they can to keep blocking that. So I don't want to keep making new videos. So all I'm gonna do is keep the old firmware, like keep the old videos, but then just update the software so that they can look at those old videos and say, okay, I'll do it here. Yeah. But what's wrong with the Pico? The last 2 or 3 upgrades do like nothing with stability and other things. That's because right now there was a major holiday in China, and that's why. They haven't had much time to even do anything in the Pico. And that's probably why they dropped this update on accident and why it's so shitty. Not that it's shitty that it doesn't work, but it's shitty that they miss things. That is like detrimental to their blocking of the global store for enterprise headsets. Yeah, they always have holidays that are crazy, that are week long. Yeah, so that's why this last update is so badass, is because they dropped this and they probably shouldn't have. They weren't ready for this update. Yeah, so future update, they probably meant to drop they didn't probably mean to drop this update. What they probably meant to drop was the Pico 3i Pro update. So when they dropped this update, I think it was a mistake, because if you think about it, they just dropped the 5.8.4 update for the Pico 3, and that was the version 4 of 5.80 of the Pico 4. A couple days ago they just dropped it, and then they dropped this a couple days later. So I don't think they really meant to drop this update, but they just did on accident. I think this was one they were just working on, and they just dropped one that they weren't really ready to drop. That's my theory. I don't know. I don't work there. I don't know anything that they're doing, but that's what it looks like. So probably Monday or Sunday they'll be dropping the Pico 3 firmware for the Pro and I that's been stuck on 4.8 for a long time. Which I believe that's what they're going to be doing on it. They drop this, they're going to be like, oh shit, we should have dropped the other one, and they'll drop that on Sunday morning. They said they want to make their own space at the end of 2023, so it's not as depend on Steam VR. Makes sense. Maybe that's why. Maybe they want to work with Intel a little bit more, a little bit harder for Intel support, because the Intel with Steam VR is kind of shitty. Makes sense. It doesn't launch right in streaming assistant. Maybe that's why they want to focus with the. Maybe that step is to get them more in line with the Intel GPUs, which is not good either, though. The Oculus kind of works like shit. The Oculus app is garbage compared to the streaming assistant for AirLink. But that would be good if they did that. Tell you that right now, that'd be awesome. But at the same time, I wouldn't want it, because I depend on Steam VR for big screen. But if they fix the Intel GPU, I can actually use my computer, this one here, with my Pico. I haven't been able to use my Pico really with this headset since I got this new GPU. So like if I go in here, let's see here. And then anytime I try to load anything, it just doesn't work. So, yeah, so if they start to become more independent, this actually does connect. So, like, here, I'll show you. Since we're right here. So you connect it, right? And you go to Wi-Fi. And then I go to connect it to my Pico. I'll just show you what it does. And if they're not so dependent on it, then, and make it more like virtual desktop and how it connects. And I haven't even tried connecting this since I've updated this thing to the new thing. Let's see what it does. It says I'm connected, right? It says I'm connected. But then as soon as it loads right here, it'll say SteamVR crashed. Failed to load. But yeah, it works with the Steam. It actually does work. And as I move across this thing, I can feel it selecting stuff. Like I can feel my remote like selecting words and or stuff. But it's just stupid. It's just completely stupid. So maybe that's their fix to SteamVR not working right, is to get around it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. It's just, there's something, and it shows it's connecting, but then it crashes the SteamVR. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I tried a few things. I've tried even, let's see here, I've tried even this. Adding in layers of applications for SteamVR. Forcing SteamVR to use like DirectX 11, DirectX 12. Yeah, well, the problem with SteamVR and Pico Streaming Assistant is too many fucking people using LVR and virtual desktop. So it's telling SteamVR that there's no Pico users. So that kind of helps, like, kind of fucks everything up for us. But yeah, if I go here, say I want VR dashboard, it's VR monitor though, and then I click OK, I can click different versions of DirectX, and that doesn't even work. So I don't know. But and this actually helps run some games, but it's not as needed as usual, because if you click here, I have an updated version of firmware, and every time, it seems like every day there's a new update for Arc. So it's not a problem with Arc, it's a problem with Pico. Yeah, my Wi-Fi connection's better than the cable. That's because I'm using, like, so if I go over here, if I go into my wireless stuff, you can see that I'm on 160 hertz, so I know that my shit's good. I know that I'm getting the speed I need, and I don't have any problems with my Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz, because I'm at 160 megahertz, which the Pico is probably only doing 80 megahertz, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome. Yeah, so Wi-Fi, perfect. I have no issues with Wi-Fi. Plus, I'm kind of a level down and kind of the ground. So down here, my Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz is not being interfered with stuff. But my 2.4 gigahertz band is hella interfering with. There's so much interference with that signal. But yeah, but my router's a badass router. Yeah. Yeah, my router, I have a Wi-Fi 6 gigahertz router. I have a Wi-Fi 6E, and that thing is a piece of shit. And I shouldn't have bought it. It's a bad brand. Don't buy certain brands of Don't buy the cheap, crappy brand of Wi-Fi. But this is a $30, $40 router, and it's nice. But like I said, you could go and like pick certain Wi-Fi channels. You can lose your I wouldn't be able to, because I have Chinese firmware, and I'm thinking seriously of getting a Pico 5. But if I won't sell my Pico 4, because hell, I have my Pico 3. But I won't get a Pico 4 Pro Enterprise because of the situation. And also, it's not worth it right now. Like, how much Steam VR stuff has eye tracking? Like, there's hardly any apps that do eye tracking right now. Oh yeah, well, I'll get a Pico Pro. I'm gonna go get the virtual desktop, and then the first thing they can't do is eye tracking and facial recognition because virtual desktop's shit. Sorry, but at least Streaming Assistant can do your eye tracking for you and all that other bullshit, right? So like, but not virtual desktop. So yeah, the Pico 5 might be worth it anyway. So there's no point, like, I don't know. I kind of want the next Valve headset though, because I know that there'll be support for it and everything. In virtual desktop, because I doubt it. That guy only cares about Quest. So if he adds eye tracking and face tracking, it's only going to be for the Quest 3. He doesn't do anything for Pico. He just does a complete rip for the. He just rips it for the Quest 2, and then just keeps adding in like, oh, maybe I'll just do a tweak here and there. But he doesn't really do too much for the Pico, because how many people really buy a Pico, the $20 program from him? Probably nobody. Probably not enough. But like, if I could go back, I wouldn't buy it, because his ALVR is so good. We'll get eye tracking and face tracking in ALVR before we get it in virtual desktop. Pico should make it more like ALVR. They should make it more open. And the thing I like about Pico's Streaming Assistant is that you don't have to sign into anything. And that's it. Not having to sign into an account makes it so much hands over fist better than Quest. But there's gotta be something like, there's gotta be an update soon Because why haven't they updated this for months? Yeah, I don't know. The problem that I have with Pico and their promises is Intel Arc support. Okay, they told us back in May that they're doing all this crap and they're doing all this crap to help us get Intel Arc support back in May. Okay, where are they? It's been 2 months since we've been updated with SA. It's been since May since they even talked about Intel and Pico. They haven't done shit to even put this partnership together. They haven't done shit with their promises. And all they do is talk about promises. Oh, if things go our way, or if things are this way or that way. But yeah, they haven't done shit. And it's still months later, and yeah. I don't know. I don't think that they're even focusing on this. I think what they're really focusing on is their latest and greatest and best product ever, the Pico G3. I think that's what they're focusing on. I think this is the best headset ever. Like, no cameras, a 3DOF controller. You know, this is the future right here. You know, right here. Just right here, you know. Fizel lenses. Fuck the pancake lenses. We need to go back to Fizel lenses, you know. I mean, they released this back like a few months ago, but like, seriously, they're focusing on like releasing new products, but yeah, they can't fix the ones that they have. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to have more faith in them, but I just I look at this and I just can't. I just can't. Really, like, how's that an upgrade? Yeah, that's not even an upgrade. G3. It's stuck on there like old. Like, I don't know anybody that would buy that. 489 hasn't been updated since 10 months ago, or yeah, 10 months ago. Hasn't been updated. They haven't, you know, fulfilled much of their promises. Yeah, they promise. It takes them 10 months to produce a update. 10 months to produce an update. Almost 11 to produce a major update to the Pico 3 Pro I version. $1,000 headset, and they can't even update it. Takes them however long to update this. Took them 11 months to upgrade, and then $1,000 headset for corporations. And then they talk about if things go our way, or if things, they don't even follow through. And then people get burnt out and they sell the device and then leave, and then they'll buy a Quest 3 and downgrade their headset to something crap. The Pico 4 Pro has been around, but they fuck up the firmware. Every time they turn around, they're fucking stuff up. The firmware for the Pico 4 Pro, you get a business store, and the business store sucks. And they already talk about the business store in here of how shitty their life's going to be when you get the Pico 4 business store. I think it's more not about opportunities and money. I think it's a combination of lack of focus and letting off a lot of companies. Like a lot of employees just got let go from Pico. So when Pico got acquired by ByteDance, they hired a bunch of people to launch the Pico 4 and the Pico 3 Link. So what I think is, one, the lack of focus and drive, and two, the lack of employees to push the many directions that they're going. Yeah, so I know it's not meta, and I know that you don't necessarily have to update your headset every month, but this is 11 months, and it's on an old version, PUI 4.8. If you even loaded a PUI 5 store into this, it completely crashes the headset. You have to factory reset it. That's how terrible this is. And so none of the apps really work anymore. And it's completely just... So they've let this thing die almost for... The G3 came out, I think, 2-3 months ago. This came out last year, but this was for development for companies and corporations to develop apps for their platform, and they leave it on old ass fucking 4.8 PUI. Why? This is for development. The G3 is also for development, though, for you know. But why would you keep it on such an old fucking firmware if this is the software and the stuff that people have to build fucking apps for you, and then you leave it on 4.8? What's up, E? How are you? What is up? See, that's I don't understand why Pico is doing this. I don't understand. They understand prior apps running on 4.0 will not function as expected. Well, because 5.0 apps don't run at all. We're talking about bad support from Pico. I don't know why it took them 11 months to get 5.8, and they haven't even released it yet. And then they're talking about updating the streaming assistant to work better, but yeah, it takes them 11 months to even push a 5.8 update that they haven't pushed yet for developers that develop apps for the platform, and they leave it on 4.8, and they wonder like why people are getting pissed that have these $1,000 headsets that aren't being updated on a Pico 3 Pro or whatever, and it's because when they write the software, they can't even freaking use it because it's on an old ass system that they don't even are in a hurry to even do that. And it's ridiculous. But just to catch you up on what's happening, is the latest update, the 5.82, is amazing. It's, if you have a Pico 4 Pro or a Pico 4 Enterprise, it's a crappy rip of a Chinese firmware. So the Pico 4 Enterprise won't disable the global store and make you have a business one. It should work fine because it will think it's a Chinese firmware. So if you have that, it should work in theory because it worked before on 7.0 V1. So there you go. I don't know why updates take so long. I don't know. They might be because of holidays and low amount of people, low amount of employees now. Yeah, but it used to be back when they first launched in November, they launched 2 updates a month. Then December was like 2 updates a month. Then January is 1. Then February is 1. Then March 1. Then April 1. Then May was skipped, I think. Then it kind of went like you're saying. It was like kind of like yeah. But at first they were like launching them every day. But I don't understand. I don't understand this though, because if you go and you look here, this just was released. This was like, I don't know, a few days ago or a month ago or something. I don't know. I don't know the date. I don't know when this was published. But when you go and you look in here, when you go and you look at software OS, and then you go down here and you look at the Pro I and you see 4.8 and it's last updated a few days before Christmas. And then it takes almost 11 months to update a developer headset that develops apps for the community and kind of burns it. I wish I was a Pico developer, but I probably get paid better doing what I do. Yeah, I was so scared today that I thought I got a Pico. Like, I downloaded the global update and I thought it was the Chinese firmware. I was almost going to crap my pants. It wouldn't have bothered me because I use a streaming assistant only, so it wouldn't have bothered me. I could have waited. Ask for a job. I am flying out to China this December, so be like, hey, I'm working on States. I do a lot of Pico stuff. You pay me more than I make now? Oh, no. Yeah, right. I think the Pico 4 update is fine. It's just what I mean by a bad rip is it's great for those people on a Pro and Enterprise. Do you have a Pro? Do you have an Enterprise? Because if you have a Pro or Enterprise, definitely do it. Report back, see if the store's working. Because I guarantee you it will. Because the Pico Pro will think it's a Chinese firmware. It's going to be daily, dude. Yeah, it's fine. They update it regularly. This one was updated 5.8.28. We've had an update since then. We had a 5.8 update, and so you should be fine. Yeah, report back. Let us know. Like, get that global on there. Let us know how it goes. It shouldn't take too long. It took me 7 minutes with my slow ass internet. But it shouldn't take long. It's the Chinese servers are downloading it fast. So if you get it from there, do you have an OEM or a non-OEM? I can just drop it in the chat. Here's the OEM. And then here is the non-OEM. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. I didn't do an OTA. I did the download and did it in this video of this stream. I did it manually, and I saw that it was good. So, yeah. If you do that, you'll be scared. You'll see events. You'll see all that. That's fine. It'll be good. It'll add in events. It'll add in all the Chinese stuff. if you should already have global region switched anyway, so it should all work fine. You just might have to sign in. Yeah, I try to keep Discord as updated as possible. It's harder to keep my website updated, but I do keep that updated as much as I can. I haven't signed in for a while. I might have to sign in, but a lot of personal sign-in information will be shown, and I don't want to show that, so I'll have to do that later. You know, when I'm not streaming my screen. But yeah, I'm surprised this live stream's gone so long, but at least it's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing really on the Pico 3, which I think this whole release was a mistake. I might should download this one just in case. Just in case I need it, I'm going to download the other one. So in case they break it, I have it. So if I have to re-upload it, I have it on my thing, because maybe, you know, sometimes they release things and they shouldn't have. Because these aren't normal links, I don't think. IoTVA? Do they ever release IoTOA? Guess they did. The 11th. And then today, the 13th. So I guess it is IoTOTA. IoTOTAVA. Oh, whoa. VADL PicoVR.com. So this is not a normal link for them. Yeah, grab them while you can. I'm going to grab that link, because that is not a normal link. Yeah, the Chinese one is fine, but that other one, this one is not a normal link. No, YouTube's leaving me alone. They're not going after me anymore. I think Pico's lost a lot of money and employees, so they're not spamming me as bad. So it's pretty good. I don't think they have as much resources to be taking down channels that help people with their headsets. I think they're losing money, and they don't have enough to keep capping down on that. I think the only way they can stop it from happening is if they just do that. But this last update, I do believe, is not supposed to be out, and I think that I'm downloading both versions, and I'm going to upload it to my. I'm uploading it to my server now, because I have a sneaky suspicion that we probably shouldn't have had that. So just a second here while I upload that. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to upload those just in case, because I have a feeling that those are temporary links, or those links are going to go down. So I'll just put them in my thing. I'm wishing you luck. I'm wishing you the best of luck. And I'm safeguarding these 2 updates. So if something happens to those links, I still have them, because I'm cool. I have like the original 5.7 update. That's cool. I need to figure out. I need to talk to the Void and see if I can get these updates onto their server, but onto the other server that hasn't been updated for months. But I just haven't had a chance to talk to them. But it's okay. Why is this one all garbled? Look at this. It's a garbled zip. Really? Is that really a garbled zip? Yeah. Why is it garbled? Dude, they freaking wasn't supposed to release this. Dude. Five 8.2. There we go. Yeah, they did this once before. Failed. Okay. Whatever. Okay, let's upload. Yeah, they did this once before. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't care, don't care, don't care. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. That way you guys can kind of have an idea. Okay, so if you go to Pico 3, and then you go to here, and you go to global, it's all messed up. See the name? Like, we probably shouldn't have had this firmware either. So I think the last firmware update, it was garbled. Yeah, non-OEM, that is strange. Why is it set up like that? But they all had normal names until there's nothing crazy. So 5.6 and they stopped 5.6. Don't understand why the CA seems to be updated less frequency than the firmware. Oh, you mean streaming assistant? Yeah, I don't know why, but it used to be updated when the firmware updated. But I am safeguarding the firmware because there's something like crazy about it. So we'll have it up here. So we're good. We're good. Let me know how. Yeah, I don't have the lewd permissions to add in lewd updates, but I'm putting it on my OneDrive, which I have 100 gigabytes of space, which is fine. I have enough space. That's where I put all my stuff. Okay, did you check with your enterprise? Is it working? Is your store working? I'm excited to see if it works for your Pico 4 Pro Enterprise or whatever it's called. And if you just stay on that firmware for a while till they mess up again, should be good. Should be golden. You just have a regular Pico 4? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, if you... Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, there's no problem with the Pico. Like, I'm just talking about the Pico 4 Pro Enterprise. But, yeah. I'm hoping to find somebody with a Pico 4 Enterprise. And yeah, the SA isn't updated at all. I was hoping. They didn't give you a date or anything, huh? When they're gonna do the SA update? I think they're waiting for right before Christmas. I think they'll drop it right in November if they do it. I think they'll do it in November. Because they're gonna want to like they're gonna have to do something to go against the Quest 3 because they're not gonna release the Pico 5 this winter. I gotta check my phone. Somebody messaged me. Oops. Why is this my recommended? Cool. Oh, you liked my... Oh, you like my ringtone or my notification tone? Yeah, my notification tone's cool. So, like, it goes off at work and people are, like, looking at me weird. Because I'm, like, standing there. Yeah, I'm getting it open right now. Sounds. So, sounds. Notifications. Notifications. Sounds. Oh, sounds. Okay. That's my notification. Yep. And then... Yeah, so just... Then I had another one. I had this one for a while. And then... Yeah, and then I had... did I have this one? Yum yum. I had that one for a while. And then... Yeah, and I had that one. But that one's mine now. Yeah, so those were my notifications that I used. I had to get it less suspicious or sus because, you know, is my stream like frozen? I guess it is like kind of buffering. Yeah, I like the Ooh, but I do like the War because it's from like an anime that I like. Yeah, the anime one. My ringtone is kind of dumb. My ringtone is this one. That's my ringtone. But my old ringtone was the Oshi no Ko. But yeah, I like that one. All right, yeah. I am very cultured. I think I'm gonna take off too, but I am uploading these because I feel like they're like not ones that they actually want us to have. Yes, I'm very cultured. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Thank you guys for watching, and you guys are amazing. And if you guys ever have YouTube, make sure you use Split because XSplit is awesome. All right. You guys have a good night.